Have you ever walked into a meeting and you can feel the energy dip before you even speak? If your updates get lost or your decisions stall and you leave the room exhausted from carrying them, the issue isn't just strategy, it's how you actually show up. Executive presence is the temperature that you set. It can calm chaos or it can quietly create it. Today, I will give you a simple way to design presence on purpose, so that the room feels safer, decisions get faster, and your influence travels further. No theatrics at all, just practical choices that you can make before you speak your first word. We will anchor the 3 real moments you can use this week: how you open the door and frame purpose, how you write the ride when things go sideways, and how you close with care so people are clear and credited. Same goals, same road, but a very different ride. Let's change how it works to feel with you, starting right now. And hey, a quick note before we dive in. If executive presence is your next lever, I coach women leaders one-on-one and do business coaching for business owners and executive teams. A link to my website is in the show notes. Take a peek. Okay, let's go. Welcome to the Lead with Spark podcast, the show where real women lead with authenticity, show up with presence, and live out their purpose. I'm Lynsey Mulder, speaker, C-suite executive, family gal, travel junkie, and a firm believer that your leadership starts from within. Around here, we go beyond the fluff. We talk about the real stuff no one teaches you in leadership training. Your values, your superpower strengths, boundaries to stop burnout, and how to quit being the chaos coordinator of your own life. Whether you're building a business, leading a team, or just trying to stop feeling stuck in the daily grind, this is your space to get clear, get aligned, and finally lead with confidence. So let's cut the noise and reconnect with the spark that makes you, you. Let's go get our spark on. My husband and 4 of our friends just got back from Destin, Florida. We went down there for the seafood festival. It was so much fun. I have to tell you that those beaches down there are absolutely amazing and beautiful. If you take a ride there, you have to go over to Crab Island, a great place to just relax for the day. And I have some restaurant tips for you for sure, because the food was amazing. Every single day, though, we had to take an Uber or a Lyft to get around. And the moment that those car doors opened, I knew which kind of ride we were in for. Not because of the brand of the vehicle, but because of the presence of the person in the driver's seat. We had Mr. Earbuds, and we got him more than once. He kept both of his earbuds in the entire time. His eyes were forward. He pretended like he couldn't hear us talking, even when we asked him a question. He was completely disengaged with the passengers. Then we had Mrs. I have surrendered to chaos. When we got in her vehicle, I am not kidding you, there were 6 air fresheners waving a white flag because the car still smelled horrible. There was a broken window, a door handle didn't work. It was complete chaos inside the vehicle. Then we had the hostess with the mostess. He jumped out of the vehicle when he got there. He grabbed our bags, put them in the back, adjusted our seats so that 2 of our crew could climb into the back row. He immediately offered us mints and water, asked us if the temperature in the vehicle was okay, even asked us what genre of music that we wanted. And then he went on to give us recommendations for restaurants, everything, acting just like a pro. In every vehicle, almost every day, we went the same distance. We were going to the seafood festival. It was the same direction, but they were 3 entirely different experiences, all because of how they showed up. That's executive presence. It's not a title. It's the temperature that you set when you arrive. It's the quiet clarity, the steadiness, the care that says, you're safe with me. We're going to get you where you're going. Presence is how your team experiences you before you ever say a word. I want to talk to you, especially to the women leading inside complex systems where you have to carry both work and life, where you're expected to be decisive and also warm, or strategic and yet human. Presence is the difference between being in charge and being trusted. It's not performance, it's stewardship. And the good news is it's a choice, like those drivers, every single day. But it does take practice. Let me introduce you to the 3 drivers that we all become sometimes. Driver number 1 was Mr. Earbuds. He's that disengaged professional. He was technically at work. He arrived where the pin on the map told him to. He drove the route. He got us from point A to B and dropped us off. But his attention wasn't in the car. His earbuds were in. He avoided all small talk, all eye contact. There was no signal whatsoever that we mattered or that we were valued. He didn't do anything wrong, and yet the ride felt empty. We were frustrated when we got out. It was efficient, well, maybe, but it wasn't reassuring. In leadership, those are the people that join the Zoom call, but their cameras are off with no context. They have those meetings that are simply for updates, but they don't really have any purpose. Giving your team member just the minimum, that schedule or that task or deadline, but zero presence or zero explanation and communication on the why. It's the quiet quitting version of leadership. I'm here physically, but you can't count on my energy, my curiosity, or even my care. For women leaders, there's a double attack, and it is real. Too strong, you're cold. Too warm, you're soft. That bind that can tempt us into disappearing and keeping our earbuds in just to avoid criticism. But disengagement doesn't protect us. It just starves the room. Presence is not loud. It's withness. It's the head nod that says, I see you. It's the one framing sentence that turns a meeting into a movement. Here's where we're headed. Here's what we're here to do, gang. Here's what we want to accomplish. And here's why it matters. And then you've got driver number 2. This was the chaos lady with all her air fresheners. She showed up and immediately we knew that we were getting the wrong vehicle. Everything in her car, from the smell to the broken things to the dirtiness, basically screamed, what more do you want from me? The car told a whole story before she did. It told us that she didn't care anymore. She wasn't malicious, she was resigned. And that resignation had a scent. You can smell it on your team. It works and sounds like, oh, it's the market, or legal won't let me, or it's the corporate way. It's the platform that's broken. That story that constantly becomes, we can't. The environment starts to sag. We start to see things getting messy. Documentation gets unclear. We're missing targets. Things show up late or they show up broken where nobody owns it anymore. And everybody is waiting for somebody else to fix it. Presence doesn't deny constraints, it names them. And then it creates a pocket of agency. The handle sticks, so I will open the other door for you. The air conditioner lags, so I'll start at 5 minutes early. In a meeting, that's something like, yes, the system's clunky, but here's a 1-page debrief that we will use so that decisions will stand and let us reach our goals. Leaders with presence don't control everything, but they curate the experience anyway, regardless of all of those speed bumps that we run into. And then there's driver number 3, the hostess with the mostess, the intentional host. He met us outside the car and was talking to us immediately, asking us questions, making sure that we were comfortable, making sure that he had tailored the environment to match our needs. He adjusted it just for us. Again, the roads were the same, but his choices built trust really quickly. That tiny welcome, the sense of competence, the feeling that we mattered and that he cared that he picked us up. At work, this is the leader whose presence said, I've thought about you. I've set the room. I know the first step, the next step. You start to feel the difference in the first 90 seconds. It's that door open momentum, the way that they greet the room, the way the agenda is short and clear, the way decisions are named, the way they make space without losing the thread. You leave their meetings with oxygen and direction. We all have all 3 drivers inside of us. On our worst days, we're Mr. Earbuds. On our burned out days, we're Miss Chaos. And on our best intentional days, we're the hostess with the mostess. Executive presence is not a personality, it's a practice. Small, repeatable choices that tell a consistent story. You can count on me. Let's land this with 3 leadership scenes where presence builds or breaks trust and how to choose your road. Scene 1, in the first 90 seconds. You open a meeting and option A is, okay, where are we with this? That's Mr. Earbud energy. The team starts to shrink. They're worried about your response if they're late. They're worried if they have questions or hurdles that they need your help with. It sets up the energy in the room to be deflating. Option B, we've got 25 minutes. Today's goal is to land the decision on X so that we can hit our next milestone. Let's discuss 2 options, and then we're going to leave with owners and dates. That's host energy. Everyone exhales. They know what the plan is. They know what the goal is, and they know how they're going to speak up and participate in the conversation. You just adjusted the seat and you check the air at the same time. Clear framing is not bossy, it's merciful. It lowers anxiety and focuses in their attention. The tone can be warm and your structure can be form. Presence equals both. Scene 2, where things simply go sideways. That project slips. The vehicle's clunky. The process is clunky. Option A, we start to vent. We list every single roadblock and blocker in the way, and then we wait for rescue. Air fresheners and chaos everywhere. Or option B, we name the constraint, then we name the lever that we do control. Something like, legal review extended the timeline. We're not stuck. We'll ship the pilot to the internal group on Tuesday for feedback we can reuse. I'll escalate 2 questions by noon. That's host energy. You didn't fix the road, you designed the ride. You set up the things that you could control and that you were in control of, giving your team back the reins. When I first led a big team, I thought presence meant never showing when you hit those speed bumps. It doesn't. Presence is steady agency. It's eye contact that says, team, we're still going. We got this. We have options and we are in control. We can navigate and mitigate risk along the way. Now, scene 3 is the aftertaste. Every ride leaves with a feeling when you step out of the car. In leadership, the aftertaste is the follow-through. Do people leave your meetings knowing what changed? Do they feel seen? Do they feel heard and valued? The hostess with the mostess created a memory. We left with water bottles and mints. We had fun chatting with him. The host driver's grace notes, like the water and the mints, the music, they all created a memory. Your grace notes might be a 3-line recap, a quick thank you with the results attached to the person who made it happen, or 1 sentence that connects the task to the purpose. Presence lingers when care gets the last word. When you think about your spark, presence is where your values, superpowers, and non-negotiables get visible. Your values drive your decision-making that determines the kind of host you will be on any given day. They influence your executive presence when you open your meetings and you start to intentionally drive them with purpose. Even when the news is hard, you can use your values to drive your executive presence. And of course, your non-negotiables, those are the rails that keep you out of the ditch of other people's urgencies. Presence needs that. You can't host well if you're constantly sprinting. Device-free dinners or 1 deep work block, no meetings before 9 o'clock. All of those guardrails allow you to mentally keep your presence powered. And of course, using your superpowers allows you to tailor your presence to be the hostess with the mostess. Maybe your calm steadiness brings down a volatile room, or maybe your clarity turns a messy conversation into action. I love those people who know how to release humor just so that people can tell the truth. When you use those superpowers on purpose, your presence is completely authentic. It's not staged. All of this brings you into the work that actually fills you up. It keeps your engine warm, so to speak. That presence becomes your posture. It eliminates that chaos. And you start to get the credibility that you deserve to be the beautiful human that you are. From Destin, Florida, all the way back to your desk, Mr. Earbuds delivered the ride, but not the experience. And that's how teams drift into conversations like, well, we got it done. Just another day in the office. And then you have, of course, Miss Chaos. Her car made us brace. That's how teams learn helplessness. They give up. They don't want to try anymore. They only do the minimum to get by. Or you can choose to be the hostess with the mostess. We arrived smiling with a new restaurant to try. And yes, we tipped him very big. That's how teams build loyalty. They build trust. They have psychological safety that everything is going to be fine. People return to leaders who make them feel like safe momentum. So here's the question for your next meeting or your next one-on-one or even your next conversation at home. What presence will you bring when the door opens? Mr. Earbuds? Miss Chaos? Or are you going to be the hostess with the mostess? You get to pick and choose who you are. Choose the presence that sets purpose. Choose the steady voice. Choose the small grace notes at the end. That's executive presence on wheels. If today unlocks something for you and you want to partner to accelerate it, I've got you. I do one-on-one coaching for women in leadership and business coaching for business owners. It's practical, momentum-focused, and tailored to you. We'll build out your presence that you can feel, clearer openings, faster decisions, confident delivery, and a team that trusts you under pressure. Jump down to the show notes, go to my website, and schedule some time for you and I to chat. There is a link that will take you to my calendar so you can pick the time that will work best for you, and we'll map the right next steps together. Hey, I am glad that you were here today. Lead with clarity, lead with courage, lead with spark, and I'll talk to you soon. Well, that's it for today. Thanks for being here and for doing the work to lead yourself first. If this episode sparked something for you, take a second to subscribe, leave a review, or share it with another woman who's ready to own her leadership. And remember, the way you lead your life is the way you lead everything else. If you or your organization are looking for a speaker, an impactful workshop, or an executive coach, head over to lynseyMolder.com and let's connect. Keep showing up. Keep leading with spark. You got this. I'll see you next time.